I have started and stopped something like this so many times and am finally ready to just go for it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our Tenggara Frontier Reserve in Jurassic World Evolution 3. As you can see, we're going to be building a Raptor Paddock similar to what we see in the Jurassic World film. This is not going to be for Velociraptors for me, but if you'd like to do that, this build is already up on the workshop for you to use yourself. As per usual, I am doing this in campaign mode, so we need to make sure all the environment needs for our dinosaur are going to be met. And the biggest one for this is going to be making sure we have enough area for it. We're going to be doing this for Proceratosaurus, removing it from where it is currently in our campaign, where it's in the Azores map. Going to move it over here. We don't have any kind of raptor in. We have a Spinoraptor, I guess. But I wanted to find a space for these dinosaurs here. I didn't like how everything was laid out at the end of the Azores map. And while I have plenty of space in the back here of our Indonesia map, we're going to stick our Proceratosaurus over here. It's not going to be accessible to the public. It's going to be something that's hidden, very similar to what it feels like in the Jurassic World film, where they are using this to train these dinosaurs or do some testing on it. I'm not quite sure what they're doing here at the Tenggara Frontier Reserve for these specifically. You can write that story yourself. But we do have a space here for a raptor-like animal here in our campaign. Fortunately, we didn't need to do too many things to fix or tweak the map here in Nusa Tenggara, but this will be the last one I have to do for right now. We'll be going to another map in the campaign to tweak a couple things there next. That's either going to be Japan, or it's going to be almost a complete remodel of the Clark County enclosures. I have a whole idea of how I need to rebuild that space to make it a little more ergonomically friendly, something that we can do to actually fit some more dinosaurs in there as we continue to get more and more dinosaurs into Jurassic World Evolution 3, even if they don't come when we want them to. But like I said, I've tried to do something like this multiple times in Jurassic World Evolution 3, and I've never really been happy with how they've started, so I've always quit and tried to do something different. But now, as I've gotten more comfortable with the modular building, just felt like this was a time to just buckle down, figure out what I wanted it to look like, and just go for it. So again, this isn't going to be a perfect replica of what it looks like in the Jurassic World films. This is more an adaptation of what that looks like or similar to it. And this will be on the Frontier Workshop for Jurassic World Evolution 3. So I will be using this maybe a couple more times in different maps here, just maybe different colors, to make it feel slightly different, or maybe tweaking some of the items and the props that we have in different spaces here. But the basic element of this is going to be staying very similar, because I'm really happy with how this turned out when it came all together here. I was a little nervous when I started, so I rewatched part of Jurassic World to see what that enclosure actually looked like, and then took inspiration from some of the ideas around it, knowing that the dinosaur that we'll have here, the Proceratosaurus, has slightly different environment needs than what the Velociraptor has, but the element in the space here that I have should be plenty for any dinosaurs similar to that need to be happy in campaign mode. So again, feel free to use this. Everything's built together here, so you can put it all together in another park that you have. And you can tweak it more as you see fit. This is my first real attempt at something like this. That's more of a movie adaptation. And it's by no means perfect. There's definitely things to tweak and to fix on it. But as a first attempt, I thought this was a really fair attempt. You know, in my very biased opinion, really happy with how this all turned out. I have a lot more structure to like making this feel a lot more real than I would have originally done a couple months ago. But that's the point of this game to me, is learning more about how to get better and better about all of these different things. And this is the culmination of the last 6 months for me of learning the modular building and how to build something like this. So if you like this, definitely hit that like button. It's always nice to see if people appreciate things like this. If you've got ideas to make this even better though, I appreciate those actually a little bit more, because I'm still trying to get even better at everything with modular building and things like this for this game. So definitely put those there. I'm getting way ahead of myself and not talking about anything to do with this actual enclosure though. So one of the things that's challenging about this is that in the Jurassic World film, the cage here that's built out of chain fences, it has the ability, it goes up and it bends a little bit. We don't have the chains to do things like that. I played around a little bit, but there was nothing that I felt like I really loved to do that. So this is just going to be a very plain square box. We've done this before with the Azores enclosure, where we built a paddock and a space for the Indominus Rex and the Scorpius Rex. And that's going to stay as it is already in that enclosure. That's one of the enclosures that's probably never going to change in the campaign. But some of these other things will, obviously, as we get better and better at building things. So this is just our elevated Indonesia. We're right next to our Gyrosphere Fallen Kingdom tour that we just walked through a little bit ago. But there's probably not much more we're going to do with this actual map for the foreseeable future. TBD, depending on what other dinosaurs we end up getting. But the nice thing is that this whole park is only at a 75% complexity. And doing this on console means that I really have to be watching that. As much as I'd love to just go really crazy with the modular building, I have to be a little bit more frugal than I might like to, which is why we also need to go back through some of the parks like Japan and Malta. And I think we were getting really close with the Kauai map, so we'll have to go through those and clean those up a little bit. Maybe they find an update for us where we can make these parks even more complex, but TBD on that, and I'm not gonna assume that that's gonna be something that happens in the foreseeable future, because Frontier's a little busy with some other stuff that they're trying to figure out. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Anyways, we're gonna keep adding some more benches and some spaces up here. It's a shame that we can't actually go upstairs, and it's also a shame that I couldn't find anywhere to put a vending machine, but it didn't make any sense in this enclosure to have that, since we are not for any guests. This is really just for staff to be able to use to watch and to look at or to train with the Proceratosaurus, similar to what it looked like for, again, Velociraptor in the films. The last thing we really need to do on the sides here is we're going to build these supports on the sides that are similar to what we have in the movie, but we'll do those on all four sides here. And then we just play a little bit more with the signage and the environment needs here. Proceratosaurus needs cover, it needs pastures, and then it needs a little bit of water. It doesn't need any of the live prey, which I learned as I was going through it. And then also it was starting to come out of, or it looked like it come out of the space here, so I needed to add some more concrete blocks, which I'd originally planned on doing, but just forgot. Either way, this is what this looks like on the Frontier Workshop. I'll put the code as well in the comments here, so you can feel free. If you want to use this or take this or tweak it or anything with it, it is there for you to use, to have fun with it. If you do, let me know. Would love to see like what someone does to elevate this or to tweak it or change it. I had a ton of fun with it, and I'm going to use it a couple different times for some other parks in here. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you on the next build.